Hey guys, guess what it is? Tiffindale Rescue Realtors, and we are coming to you right before that big
Christmas.
old giant holiday.
Yeah.
Um,
Feels like it really snuck up this year.
it did. It did.
Don't even know. I'm ready to start the new year, but it definitely feels like it just kind of zoomed on in and snuck up, and here we are. So
And it did zoom in, and it did sneak up, and I just rushed here from a luncheon that lasted a little longer than we thought. So Tiffany's been sitting here planning out all this fancy stuff for us to say, and you know what? I'm going to tell you, we ain't going to follow it because that's just how we roll.
I haven't really planned out that much fancy stuff, but you know.
I do know before this, because Tiffany was having to kill some time, and it was all my fault. What'd you do?
I did some Christmas shopping.
Christmas shopping? Man, my nose is itching too. That's what happens when I run in. Christmas shopping for some nieces and nephews?
Yes.
And she told me, as I kept saying, oh, I'll be there in 15 minutes. I'm going to go to Marshall's. Oh, well, did you go to Marshall's?
No.
No Marshall's. She did drop off some toy donations.
I did.
That was good. That was fun. Again, it's the Christmas season. And what was the last thing you did before you came here?
I went to Michael's.
Went to Michael's. Why did you go to Michael's? Was that for the nieces or nephews?
No, that was for me. I got some art supplies.
So that leads us into our topic today.
Yes.
Which is, real estate agents, I know you guys feel beat this year. This year started out insane. It started out crazy. And then about the middle of the year, light switches were flipped.
And it went to a different kind of crazy.
The opposite side of this crazy to a different kind of crazy.
What the crap?
And, I think everyone's doing a little bit of business. I think everyone's should be right now just come out of really trying to get ready for next year and what all's going to happen and all of that.
Yeah.
And today we just want to talk about taking some time for yourself.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about today, because I think that we tend to get in this business. There's two different ways you can go when you get into this business. You can either have a hard time getting the drive to get up and work, or you can have a hard time turning off work. And I think that at some point or another, we're all guilty of that. And especially coming off of, like we talk about all the time, the last couple of years being really insane and busy and driven and fast paced. And it kind of switched to a weird little moment of a little bit of downtime, but we didn't feel like we should take the downtime because it was not really where we wanted to take downtime in the middle of the summer, right, which is typically our busiest time of the year. And now we kind of feel like we're not allowed to. Like, we have to keep working, we have to keep the grind, and we have to just keep pushing forward so that 2023 will be a productive year.
And 2023 should be a really productive year in real estate for all you guys. If you don't know, and I said kind of a minute ago, all of this time we really should have been preparing for getting ready for 2023. That doesn't mean you need to stop working. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have been selling houses, but you always take the end of the year to try to set yourself up for the beginning of the next year, what you're rolling into. But it's also important that when the holiday times come, we often don't take the time, and maybe we miss events with our families, and maybe we get so busy and we're not as nice as we should be, and all of that to the things that really matter, because business is a big deal, but really your family comes first.
And that's why we work so hard.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, we work so hard so that we can support our families and give our kids what they want and what they need, and be able to provide a home for them. And it really is hard. And I, for one, am really bad about that. I'm really bad about going, okay, I don't really have anything to do. What should I be doing? I need to be doing something that is productive. I need to be lead generating, or I need to be doing this, or I need to be doing that. And the week between Christmas and New Year's is what I most often refer to as the no man's land, because you don't know what day it is. You don't know where you should be. There's not really any events, especially in our industry. There's not really anything going on. So you don't have anything telling you, okay, I have to get up and be at this place by this time, and keeping you in that rhythm of work. And you might feel a little bit of guilt for not working. And you know what? Don't. Don't. I mean, take the time, recharge. I think we all need to recharge. And it's kind of like, what they tell you before a big test. You study, 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 but the night before the test, don't study, right? Because you want to take your mind off of it. You want to relax, you want to reset, and it kind of takes off some of that stress from you so that you are ready for the test and ready to start fresh the next day.
I misunderstood that in college.
You did?
Yeah, I thought it was don't study, don't study, don't study, don't study.
Cram the night
Cram
before.
it all the night before.
I kind of did that sometimes too. Yeah. But they say that that's the best way to do it.
I've heard that too. So, and so what do you have planned for that week, that Christmas week off? Anything? Just being with Landon?
With family. We have a couple of different things going on. We're going to be doing some Christmas celebrations after Christmas with different parts of the family. And then honestly, another one that's kind of snuck up is New Year's Eve. I don't really have any plans for New Year's Eve. Probably staying home, watching the ball drop, and going to bed at 11 because it drops in New York an hour before us.
I'll probably be staying at home, not watching the ball drop and catch it on the replay on the DVR the next day.
Yeah.
Man, that New Year's Eve thing kind of went out a long time ago. But hey, if you're a partier, there's lots of places to go.
But be safe.
Be safe. Always be safe.
Yeah.
Because I have my whole week off planned. Well, actually, I have my whole week off not planned, but it's on a big giant boat in the middle of the ocean. So it will be fun that week after Christmas leading up to New Year's Eve, at which time I get back. So
that'll be exciting.
Should be fun. Should be fairly relaxed. We'll take some pictures while we're out there and maybe do a video or two that we'll share with you guys. Because you have to, just like you have to make time to work and you want to be scheduled while you're working.
Time block to work.
And you want to manage your time very well. You also need to manage that time where you need to take off and recharge. It doesn't just happen once a year.
It doesn't. And we might even go into another episode one day, for 2023, talking about the importance of time blocking and the importance of boundaries and being able to say, no, I actually stop working at this point in the evening. And, they're not always hard and fast rules. Sometimes you have something going on where you have to do a little bit of work beyond a certain time or a little more work on a Sunday if you plan to take that off. But I think that we really need to work on a good work-life balance. And that's something that is really important and imperative to keeping you from getting burned out, especially with an industry that will flip-flop on the turn of a dime and you can get fatigued really quickly. So we have to take care of ourselves.
So that gives me a good thought.
Yeah.
We can have a debate episode.
Oh.
Because I don't believe that there is such a thing as work-life balance.
Really?
Yep. I think you can strive towards some of that, but I think that you're either doing work and your family and your other stuff, your spiritual well-being, I think that gets slighted. I don't think there's a way to balance all that out. Or you're really focusing on family, spirituality, personal development, and your work suffers. Always.
That's a very pessimistic outlook there, Dale.
It's not pessimistic at all. I just think that's the reality of it. And we, being in a self-employed business like we're in, we have to struggle with that and figure out a way to balance it out, though I don't think balance is the right word. This week, we're way up here in work. This week, we're way here in the middle, and work's not here. It might be here.
Well, I think what you're kind of saying and what you can attribute that to is it's really hard to give 100% to both aspects of life.
Oh, yeah. You're only talking family and business. Then if you haven't, personal development, spirituality,
all of that.
All 4 or 5 of the
It's kind of the conundrum of being a working mom. It's really hard to give 100% to being a mom and 100% to being, employed. But that's where you do have to find some sort of balance where each is getting equal and one is not getting more than the other.
Well,
I think that is the conundrum when it talks to balance, of work-life balance, not that one is suffering entirely.
It's giving yourself permission to say no.
Yes. The power of the word no. I'd like to hear some comments on this one in regards to what people think of that, because it is something that we do struggle with, especially being self-employed. There's a lot of people outside.
Talk slower. You're talking like.
Sorry. Yeah. There's a lot of people outside of our industry, that work traditional, quote unquote, 9 to 5s, even though we know they're really longer than 9 to 5 jobs, And they think, oh, well, you get to control your own schedule. That must be so great. It's like, no, actually, I'm at the mercy of everybody else's schedule.
One of the great myths in the realtor world.
Yeah, but it's something that is really hard because they get to go to work, they get to clock in, and they get to work, and then they get a lunch, and then they get to clock out at the end of the day, and their work is done, and they get to be with their family. But it's really hard for us because a lot of times at the dinner table, our phone is ringing, or we're getting text messages, or we're getting inquiries from clients or, lenders or title companies and things like that, because it doesn't stop. It's really hard. So that's something we do need to work on. That's why it's important to circle back to our topic of the day, to take this week, take when it is kind of a natural lull in the industry.
And a time to celebrate, too.
Yeah, it's a time to celebrate the end of the year. It's time to celebrate the beginning of a new one. Put all the crap that happened in 2022 behind you. And
you kept that family. Very good.
I did. And put forth the optimism for your goal setting in 2023 and rock and roll and ready to go, but recharged and refreshed and be in your pajamas all week. No one cares.
Absolutely. And at those celebration dinners, be part of it, be engaged in it, and just subtly remind people you're in real estate and you can help them because you want to help your family.
Yeah.
They're the hardest clients you'll ever deal with, by the way. But you want to help your family, and everyone's interested right now in the real estate market because it is so crazy and so back and forth, and the news tells you 14 different things about how great it's going to be or how much it's going to crash. So do that. Enjoy your Christmas time. I hope all of the children out there get visits from Santa Claus or
whoever they may
celebrate. And in Hanukkah, you have presents for days.
8
days, yeah. I believe that is correct. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So go celebrate, enjoy all this time. Enjoy the
time
new
with your
year.
family.
Don't do anything stupid. We want to see all of you back here next year in one piece. And we've got lots of good stuff coming up for you next year. So stay tuned with us. This is Tiffindale Rescue Realtors. Do your sign-off thing about review, like, and all of that.
Yes, please go on and like and subscribe and review us on our platforms. 5-star reviews preferred because we're trying to get up there. And we do appreciate y'all's support, and we appreciate you guys listening to us banter. And we hope that we're a little bit entertaining. We provide a little bit of information, and we do plan on providing a lot more information in the new year. This is just kind of us ramping up and getting going. So be on the lookout for some great stuff. We're going to have some good interviews, and hope you guys have a great Christmas.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas.
Bye. Guys.